This episode of Meet the Mouse is made possible by mousehotels.com from Hotels.com and Expedia. Get the best price on all the best Disney hotels, including a free night for every 10 you buy.
Coming up on this episode, behind the scenes on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, an insider tip to find the shortest lines all day, and we'll take a microscope to the Mad Hatter's hat. I'm Lucy Locke, and this is the show that helps you discover your Disney dreams. Hello and welcome to the show. Today I'm going to take you on a backstage tour of my all-time absolute favourite ride, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom. Now, as the biggest ride free pants ever, I'm not a fan of rides that rocket your stomach up through your brain or dangle you upside down by your knocking knees. It takes a lot of courage and reckless abandon, I might say, for me to try any kind of new ride. Big Thunder Mountain opened at the Magic Kingdom in 1980 to rave reviews, and it fast became one of the most popular rides at Walt Disney World. And like all Disney rides, it has a great backstory. The ride takes you through the tiny town of Tumbleweed, somewhere in the American Midwest. Legend has it that many years ago, gold was discovered in the hills of Big Thunder Valley, tempting greedy gold prospectors to pillage the area's natural wealth. They were warned by locals that the mountain was sacred ground and that disaster awaited anyone who disturbed it. It wasn't long before unexplained events began to occur. Mine cars full of foolish passengers were mysteriously sent hurtling around inside the mountain. Realizing that the curse was true, the miners deserted the mountain. But even today, some still choose to enter the abandoned mine shafts on the rickety old train to tempt the ancient curse. Ugh, spooky stuff. Well, I'm sure you don't believe all that mumbo jumbo. It's just a ride. Well, before you ride this reeling, lurching, twisting, runaway train ride from hell, there's some little known facts about Big Thunder Mountain that you should know. The ride cost a mind-boggling $17 million to build. That's about the same amount as it cost to build the entire Disneyland park in 1955. Yikes. Interestingly, while Disneyland's version of the ride was modelled after the hoodoos, or tall, thin spires of rock of Bryce Canyon National Park, the railroad at Magic Kingdom was inspired by Monument Valley in Utah and Arizona, which is characterized by, well, monumental red rocks. Another little-known fact is that each of the 6 runaway trains has a unique and somewhat humorous name. You be bold, you are daring, you are courageous, I am brave, I be hearty, and last but not least, I am fearless. Well, that sums it up about right, I'd say. Okay, so when is the best time to board I be hearty? Well, a sneaky little insider tip is to head over here first thing in the morning, grab a fast pass for another Big Thunder Mountain or Splash Mountain ride, and line up for the other one while you're waiting for your fast pass time to come round. Oh, and if you want the most bang for your buck, so to speak, go for either the front or back row of the train. You'll have 2 completely different ride experiences when you sit in those areas. The front of the train builds suspense because you'll be dangling at the crest of the hill while the rest of the train is still working its way up behind you. And then you really feel some G-forces as the full weight of the train hurtles down the drops. The ride at the back of the train is kind of like being attached to the tail of a very irritated cat. You'll get whipped around all over the place. Of course, if you prefer a more sedate ride experience, and I use that term very loosely, anywhere around the middle is just fine. Oh, one more thing. Big Thunder Mountain also has a very different feel at night when all the tunnels are pitch black. It's another kind of scary you should definitely experience. So there we have it. My insider secret summary of, well, for me anyway, the best ride at Disney World. But then there is Space Mountain. Oh, and Expedition Everest. Oh dear. Well, let's just say that it's one of the most super awesome, hair-raisingly fabulous rides you'll ever experience at Disney World. Now let's take a look at this week's top 5 with Lucy's list.
here's my pick of the top 5 snack stops at Magic Kingdom. At number 5, if you missed out on your morning coffee and pastry, oh no! There's no need to fret. The Main Street Bakery, halfway down Main Street on the right, serves yummy-licious lattes, cappuccinos, and scrumdiddlyocious pastries made fresh every day. Number 4, if you're getting a bit of a soup craving, it happens, okay? The Columbia Harbour House in Liberty Square serves delicious chowder and tasty fish baskets, which are sure to satisfy. Number 3 on my list is tucked away in a little quiet corner of Frontierland. If you fancy something fast and hot, the Golden Oak Outpost serves ridiculously yummy chicken nuggets and some pretty good French fries. The Outpost is often super duper busy around lunchtime, but it's a great stop for a mid-afternoon snack when it's less busy. Number 2 is a great little snack stop that's very rarely busy. In fact, it's something of an overlooked gem. Anti-Gravities, or Anti-Gravities, depending on where you're from, in Tomorrowland serves delicious fresh fruit smoothies and tasty ice cream sundaes. If you're trying to get away from too much junk food, these smoothies are the perfect healthy treat. And my personal must-visit top-of-the-pack snack stop is just across the bridge in Adventureland. Aloha Isle is a little hole-in-the-wall place that serves fresh pineapple spears, pineapple-flavoured Dole Whip ice cream, and delicious fresh orange or pineapple juice floats. Ooh! It's the perfect way to cool off with a delicious snack, and it's my number 1 favourite. A great way to experience more of the magic at any of the Disney parks is to start your day from the back of the park. But I want to get straight on the rides, I hear you say. Well, I completely understand. I do too. But so does everybody else. When most people arrive at the parks, they're like kids in a candy store. They go for the first good-looking thing they see, which of course is right at the front of the park. So trust me on this. Put your blinkers on, stay focused, and be disciplined in heading straight for the back of the park. You'll not only avoid the crowds, but you'll usually have a shorter wait time for virtually every ride you want to go on, all day. Just try not to poke your tongue out at all the people stuck in enormous lines that you won't have to wait in. Now it's time for your questions with Letters to Lucy. Today's question comes from Kathy in Toronto. Kathy writes, Lucy, can you tell me, are guests allowed to bring food into the theme parks? Well, in a word, Kathy, yes, you are allowed to. Just before you enter the park, your bag will be searched for security reasons, but you're welcome to bring your own food in with you. If you do bring lunch, or perhaps a yummy picnic, there are some lovely areas inside each park where you can spread out your feast and enjoy the scenery. You might even like to have a snooze on the grass afterwards. I think I might just do that myself. Thanks for sending in your question, Kathy. Your free Mickey Mouse plush toy is on its way to you. If you'd like to see your question featured on the show and get your hands on your very own Mickey Mouse cuddly, simply click on the link below the video to submit your question. If you like this show, then you'll love the community here at Meet the Mouse. Join me in the members area for a lot more money-saving tips, guides to help you plan every trip to perfection, and all kinds of extra snazzy goodies. I can't wait to show you around. Join today and you'll also get 3 downloadable cheat sheets that contain some super sneaky insider information that will save you lots of money on all things Disney. Click the button below to take the tour and have a look at all the benefits you'll receive as a member. I'll see you inside. Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland sports a rather lovely and rather enormous green top hat. I know you probably know that already, but I bet you didn't know about the little scrap of paper he has stuffed in the brim of his hat. It says 10/6. Now that's a reference to the original price of the hat, 10 shillings and 6pence. So the Mad Hatter really is totally balmy, so much so that he even forgot to remove the price tag from his fancy new headgear. Fancy. Bet you didn't know, too, that Mad Hatter Day is celebrated on the 6th of October in America. Do the numbers from that date sound familiar? Just a tad? Well, they should. Mad Hatter Day was started in 1986 by some computer geeks from Boulder, Colorado, who apparently had a lot of time on their hands. So what does one do on Mad Hatter Day, I hear you say? Well, basically, it's a day to celebrate silliness of all kinds. But don't confuse it with April Fool's Day. Mad Hatter Day is a day to drop our assumptions of what is normal and proper, and to appreciate the silliness of the world around us. Wow, who would have thought so much could come from a simple price tag stuck in someone's hat? That about wraps things up for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Join me again next week when I'll show you some top secret places to relax away from the crowds at Magic Kingdom, how to tell Chip and Dale apart, and it really is possible, and what not to wear when visiting the parks. I'm Lucy Locke, and this is the show that helps you discover your Disney dreams.